A short while ago, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was optimistic that he would conclude a trade agreement with the EU by July. This goal is now a long way off. It cannot even be ruled out that the negotiations will fall altogether. The reason is a tiny industry: fishing. EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier considers an agreement with the UK on a trade agreement after Brexit is unlikely at this time. The British government refuses to commit to open and fair conditions of competition and a balanced fisheries agreement, he said after another round of negotiations last week on Thursday. The British chief negotiator David Frost also did not rule out a failure of the negotiations. One had to consider the possibility that no agreement could be reached until the transition period expires in December. In fact, the dispute over fishing rights could torpedo a trade deal between Britain and the EU. But what is the dispute about? Fishing! The British government is using the fishing rights as leverage in the Brexit negotiations. Because many fishermen from France, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Holland, Germany and Denmark are dependent on being able to continue fishing in British territorial waters. Almost all North Sea herring that German deep-sea fishermen catches comes from here. By the way, the fish, before it's big enough to be caught in these waters, comes from the territory of the other EU members. So this is really a bit ridiculous. Britain and the EU originally wanted to agree on fishing rights in British territory waters by July 1st. The so-called fisheries agreement should mark the beginning of the trade agreement between the two parties. It was part of the political declaration already. But the fronts between London and Brussels have hardened, and to date no consensus has been reached. The reason for this is that the UK government is rejecting a permanent agreement on fishing quotas to EU fishermen. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said in February, "We will then negotiate new fishing quotas with the EU each year, taking scientific knowledge into account and ensure that British fishing grounds are reserved first and foremost for British ships." London is therefore facing a fixed catch quota. This is despite the fact that fishing accounts for only 0.04% of Britain's gross domestic product, and even with processing only contributes 0.1% to the country's economic output. The dispute over fishing rights in British territorial waters is therefore rather symbolic. The kingdom has very little what the EU wants, but access to fishing grounds is part of it, quotes the Augsburger Allgemeine, that's a German newspaper, trade experts and ex-government advisor David Hennig. Politically, Johnson is concerned with a lot. The Neue Zürcher Zeitung, a Swiss newspaper, rated the dispute about it as follows: "Control over fish is perhaps the most tangible type of control that British Conservatives have always promised through Brexit. This is what makes the topic politically charged." Ultimately, however, it is also clear that UK fishermen sell most of their catch in the European single market. After Brexit, Great Britain is dependent on functioning trading conditions with the EU. With a view to a comprehensive trade agreement, neither party will be able to avoid agreement on fishing rights. And if you now want to know more about European politics from a German point of view, YouTube has chosen another of my videos right here for you in the end screen, right next to your chance to subscribe to my channel. If you do so, don't forget to click the little bell so you get notified when I publish a new video. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!